map in which they earned that very title. Bank, and right off the bat, Nora-Rengo goes for an attacker ban. 50% of their bans during the Pro League season have been Glaz. I would be surprised if we see anything else, but if it is something else, probably going to be a Blitz or a Lion.
I'd say Glaz would be the one that they would ban out because he is quite dead. Never mind a Lion.
Lions, I mean, still 15% of the time they banned Lion. So I hope that New Life have done their research, because if they have, then they certainly could be expecting the way that Nora-Rengo plays. Now, New Life were a team that really favored that Lion during their match against Mantis. In fact, both Korean teams really brought that out and made the best use of it. So New Life is definitely going to be set back by that being taken away from them.
And with Glaz actually going as well, straight away we also see the defender ban. Glaz is also a very powerful operator, and Mira going out, well, would be a fairly standard, you could say, but at the same time, she could be a very powerful operator as well for the defense. I mean,
Mira is a very meta ban. From Nora-Rengo, it's going to be Echo. It's 35% of the times in Pro League they did ban that, so good to see that they've gotten rid of that again, but New Life got to be expecting it at this point. New Life did use that Echo quite a lot in their match on Bank. It was a pillar of their downstairs defense alongside their Pulse and Valkyrie play, utilizing those C4s. I'm expecting that's what we're going to see when they switch onto the defense, but as for the attack, with no Lion, how are they going to play this one?
Without the Lion, I feel that they would have to take it a bit slower, because that's where their kind of pillar of the roam clear will be sitting at. And now they would need to improvise. They would need to either bring in a Jackal, but this time, yeah, they do have a Jackal for that very roam clear, as well as Dokkaebi. So they do expect the roam plays from Nora.
And just the single hard breach of Hibana, look at that. The Blitz coming out, something that we know the other Korean team, Mantis, do quite love, and I guess that's, that tendency has spilled over to the rest of the Korean region. Starting off on the basement, Nora-Rengo stick picking onto the Valkyrie from a Rook, maybe trying to hint at New Life with the Rook pick that they were taking top floor CEO office as their first pick, because a lot of teams, particularly North American teams such as Rogue, do favor that top floor. But no, instead he's just using that as a bait and bringing out the Valkyrie for the C4 and the intel.
Yeah, with well, Valkyrie is a very potent operator for Bank plays, and certainly Nora do know that as well. I'm quite interested at how will the defense play out, because certainly so far it seems that only two operators that will be on the roam, being the Ella and potentially either Valkyrie or Legion. Never mind, actually, Mario looking to be playing on the top floor, whereas the rest of the roster will be splitting between the two floors. And so far, not a single person actually on the site, which is a bit of an oddity to me. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's surprising to see that they're pushing Garage like this. Wow, this is actually a lot of aggression. Catstang just holding that drone. This could be an incredibly aggressive strategy coming out from New Life. This is the exact kind of thing that will catch Nora-Rengo off guard.
Yeah, and they already have a blitz. They going in, they just going to blasting, guns blazing. And I don't think Nora will be yet prepared for this one. Here's the crossfire coming out. Elkbis already rushing in. He is on the side. He will be smoking out to go for a plant. Oh, there's a flash. And Nova picks up the first kill. Mario will be responding onto Whoppy and taking it down. Walker responds as well onto Nova, as well as Smileboy will be going down to the hands of Mario. 2v4 straight away. 2v1, and Elkbis will be getting the last kill. And Mario closing it down. Round one, what an explosive action just right off the bat.
Mario, you insane player. Look at the Papilia's getting hyped. He's fist pumping, looking at the crowd. He's right in this one. And oh my god, what a round for Mario. A great read from New Life to go for that rush, but wow, it just didn't work. And Nora-Rengo more reactive than we've ever seen them before.
Yeah, it definitely seems that way, and they read in onto that aggression. Like I mentioned before, the Korean meta being that very risky, very aggressive place, this has definitely did not work out very well for them. And we're seeing actually a pick of Clash. Now, I do very much doubt, no, never mind. I was just about to say this could be a 6 pick, but never mind. JJ will be swapping over from Legion onto Bandit, which could be a very interesting play.
I mean, Walker as a clash, that's surprising to me. Walker has played Montaigne before at the Paris Major. It didn't work when he played it against Vitality on Clubhouse. And he received a lot of criticism. A lot of people said, well, maybe Walker, I mean, he's a player renowned for his fragging ability, and he's playing an operator which is not reliant as much on aim as is on placement. So it's a bit surprising to me to see Walker nailing down those shield plays. Typically, it's more supportive players that rock the shield, but instead it'll be Walker. So I do hope that he can prove all of the naysayers wrong.
I would hope for that as well, and I do feel that Walker might be actually one of those like stepping stones for the funneling strat for Nora, because he could very much serve as the as that kind of walking mirror for the defenders. And looking at the whole lineup, it definitely looks that way. They got the French duo for the defense, so this should be some spicy.
Of course, we see a lot of the GIGN, the Rook and Doc and Cast as well on this top floor in CEO office. So a great strategy being brought out right off the bat from Nora-Rengo. They're already revealing all their strategies because they know they need to pull out all the stops to win, even though they're playing against New Life, who's an unfavored team. They're not holding any bars.
Yeah, and with that in mind, New Life will actually need to kind of take a break, take a pause, have a Kit Kat, and wait up for any of the plays from Nora. They will need to fade it out and get at least the man advantage. And look at this, that is a nice angle as well onto the front desk. So I reckon right now, after that first round, New Life will need to rethink some of their approaches.
Yeah, and this aggressive peeking from the defenders with their ACOG, something pioneered by players such as Kantoraketti from G2. I'm glad that we're seeing that from Nora-Rengo, because we know they have some insane aim. Mario and Papilia, no doubt, going to be trying to do their team proud. Katsang, we mentioned he's a good fragger, but he's not the first one to find a kill. Mario goes down so early on, losing a gunfight to Elkbiss.
Yeah. And just like that, Smileboy is actually just about to potentially start pushing with him running into Walker, who's still hidden in that janitor closet, where he could surprise some of the attackers. But at the same time, we also see an IQ pushing up through the lobby on the second floor and getting very close. The reinforced wall have been already popped open as well, so he might get some surprise peeks very soon.
A lot of aggression from Nova, a player we've seen really turn up for New Life, but Walker finds the first kill. Any doubts we had onto this player's ability to use that clash have been doused as we see him find the first frag for his team. And this is the pointy end of the round now as New Life start their approach, but Papilia holding fast with this MP5. Walker no doubt going to call out. He whips out the SMG and he takes down one kill, but there's 2 players down per side now. Walker, however, has retaken the side.
Yeah, and JJ responding onto Elkbiss now. A 2v3 situation. That was a nice pick, but at the same time, UMP45 does the job, and Walker with a jump out. What a madman. What an absolute unit. Manages to secure yet another win for his team at the end. And 2-0 so far for Nora-Rengo. It does not look good so far for New Life, as they're just getting pretty much stomped at this very moment.
It's looking good for Nora-Rengo at the moment. I'm really happy to see Nora stepping up. Of course, when you have a favorite team, you think, oh, you know, are we going to see the team that we love, or are we going to see a team that's maybe crumbling under the pressure? We've seen Nora-Rengo have both of those qualities, but today they're really stepping up.
Oh yeah, they definitely are stepping up, and it looks like the morale boost from the crowd also is working out very well for them, whereas for New Life, they seem to be very much concentrated. Nora players seem to be very happy so far about their performance, and they're very pumped up, very woke. And JJ is swapping over from Maestro to a Valkyrie, so he, I believe, did play out very well before, but this time it will be Archives and the Teller's office, which I do feel could go very much south if Nora would lose the control of the upstairs.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about this bomb site, of course, in Rainbow Six. Vertical play on account of destructible floors is so very important. And of course, every bit of floor, a roof above this bomb site, a bit of floor in the CEO office and surrounding areas is destructible, and you can open up that floor above with utilities such as those ash charges, breaching charges we might have on the IQ, the Jackal shotgun, and of course, Zephyr's explosives as well. A lot of that soft destruction on New Life, which is going to really help. And that means that Nora-Rengo are going to make it a priority to hold the top floor.
Yeah, and with that in mind also, I do want to point out how it's like a full hunker down on the upstairs, so minimal amount of reinforcements used on defense of the downstairs, and a nearly full potential used. The Elkbiss nearly loses his head due to a pre-fire from Katzan, which would have been quite of a unfortunate display.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you don't want to get taken out so early in the round. Pre-firing windows is something that, of course, it's so important in the top levels of play. You just really, it feels terrible to get caught off guard by a lucky pre-fire.
Yeah, and Wobby will be assisting the rest of his team by going in with a push from up front with Nova. Both of them are droning up ahead and just waiting for the right moment to start their push, because it doesn't seem that the main lobby is contested, well, nowhere near contested, because you do have a fair bit of pressure at the moment being put onto the east hallway.
Yeah, once again, this castle is going to help with the top floor hold, but Elkbis was getting very aggressive up near Janitor's Closet. And meanwhile, two players from New Life crawling up the banana stairs, going up to lobby. Nova, the first man in the door. He's droned his way up, but of course those mute jammers disrupted that, so he's going in blind, face-checking this with the commando. Meets some more castle barricades. Walker on the other side of it. He might not be aware. He's just trying to do some setup, and he might not realize Nova is about to start peeking him. It's Merry to cover his back. Is he going to find the kill? Spraying down, Nova gets lit up very heavily, but no kill comes out either way. Both Walker and Mario just a few bullets away from their own demise.
Yeah, this time Castle did get downed, as well as Elkbis picking up a kill onto Walker, but Papilia with a double kill manages to take out Elkbis, and Katsang. Smileboy picks up a kill onto JJ, and Rachel takes out Smileboy. 2v3 situation with Castle is down, so technically a 2v2 with the health advantage being in favor of Nora.
But of course you can see New Life don't even realize they have top floor control. They may have injured Mario on the castle, but they don't know this. Nova wants a reset right now. Watby's going to shoot him in the foot, pick him up, get him back to 50 HP. Mario's not going to have the same luxury, but he's a dead man just putting pressure on by the fact that New Life don't know he's downed. They think that they don't have top floor control, and they may completely change their push based on that. Yeah,
but they do have just under 40 seconds, so they would need to start going for that push very and very soon. And it definitely feels that Nora are at favor on even right now with the equal amount of manpower, but they do seem to have on lockdown. Last moment droning out with 20 seconds. New Life need to make it happen very and very soon. Wabi goes in for the push as they start getting rid of the barbed wire. But Papilia with a triple kill so far, and a quad kill! What a play, what a shot, and from that kill hole right at the bottom of that wall, he manages to get those final 2 kills. Amazing.
Papilia with a 4K. This man is anyone who can stop him at the moment, playing so well on that Mute. Not an operator who you would typically say, I mean, yeah, Mute's a great fragger, great 800 RPM weapon, but of course he's no Jaeger, he's no Bandit. Fantastic to see Papilia stepping up into the shoes of his of the former players on Nora-Rengo, coming over from Sengoku Gaming Ecstasy. He fits like a glove into this roster.
Oh yeah, it definitely looks like so. Now, so far, New Life have been denied of any of their plays. They have been very wonky on the bank. The map that should be in their favor, they should be knowing all of the ins and outs so far, but it looks like Nora are playing out just perfectly.
Oh yeah, I mean, I mentioned earlier, if New Life have any hope of taking a map in this series, it needs to be the first one. Their second map of this best of 3 being Coastline is good ground for Nora-Rengo, and in contrast, New Life having only picked up 1 round when they played Coastline against Mantis. New Life don't want to be overplaying Coastline after such a significant loss on this map. They need to make it happen here on Bank.
Yeah, and with that in mind, I'm very much curious how will New Life approach this time, because this definitely looks like a potentially a new approach for New Life, because they now know how they respond onto the aggression. They know how to get it running. So now they will be approaching very and very carefully. They could go for very much of a vertical play.
Is there only one player on site for Nora-Rengo? Rachel, the only player downstairs, I do believe, is we had even a lot of players maybe just doing setup, but maybe even going for some roams in the main lobby, the area that you would be least likely to roam. With Walker playing Vigil and JJ on the Ella, we have a lot of 3 speeds with great fragging potential for Nora-Rengo. It looks like they're just going to be flexing onto New Life at the moment.
You wouldn't know just yet if they're full-on flexing, but so far the score is very much flexible right there. And 3-0 is something New Life should be starting to worry about, Dev.
Definitely. I mean, New Life, not the favorite team, as we've said time and time again, but they do have some strong players. We're yet to see Nova show up. We're yet to see Katsang show up. And that's what needs to come. Walker being droned out. No doubt he's in a vulnerable position right now. We need to see the New Life players win this fight. If Walker can win this with a reflex, that's it. And oh my God, Walker taking down Watbin. You can hear the Japanese crowd in the background. They're getting hyped for their team, their favorites, Nora-Rengo, playing so well so far.
Oh my lord, Mario picks up a kill, another one onto Nova. That is Dokkaebi down as well. What a play, and that peek from Vigil actually worked out way too well.
The roaming at the moment from Nora-Rengo is just doing everything that it needs. Smileboy, Katsung and Elkbist at the moment, they have their work cut out for them, so much to do. Papilia still roaming inside. Oh my god, Waka, what are you doing? He takes another one down, he's going to peek again, but finally the frag up from Nora-Rengo does fall, but not without getting refragged. Oh my goodness, it's all up to Smileboy.
Did you see there was 3 people coming up that doorway in the middle? That staircase. That was that was just pure at this point BM. They knew Katsung was all alone, and that Hibana now has a challenge and a half on her shoulders.
Historically, Nora-Rengo have been a very strategic team with some strong fraggers, but right now they are just using their fraggers to flex. It's not even a question of the strategies. They're just playing so well. Their team chemistry, their refragging, and their just raw aim is doing them justice at the moment.
Although we did watch the matchup between New Life and the Mantis prior to the broadcast, and both of the teams flexed some very good aiming capabilities, but at this point right now, Nora is like as if they're toying with their prey at this very moment.
Smileboy taking a bit of damage and even getting gassed out at the moment. Not a lot he can do. He's not the most potent fragger from New Life. If this was perhaps Katsung or Nova, we'd be a little bit more willing to expect something great here, but Smileboy, no diffuser in hand, 20 seconds, 4 plays to find. What can you say for him? They're just throwing impact grenades at him at the moment. Papilia with a peek gets himself another kill, trying to just sweeten up that KD. Kizoku, the coach in the background, you can see him fist pumping his team. Nora-Rengo looking so good.
Yeah, and just like that, a 4-0. We're getting very close to match point as well, and so far not a single point of resistance from New Life, but maybe it's just the warm-up, maybe it's just to prep their first map, maybe they could show us something way different on Coastline, maybe they're much more prepared this time for that map, because if they do lose this bank, they will be going at a much bigger disadvantage into Coastline, I feel.
Yeah, New Life on Coastline is not something I would expect to work well. So New Life, like I said, they have to make the damage here. And unfortunately for them, it looks like all the damage is being dealt by Nora-Rengo. And just looking at them, once again, bringing the clash, bringing the same roster that they did for their top floor defense, not even hiding it anymore. They've revealed their hand, but New Life, they have to make the adaptations necessary. And of course, not with no Lions, an operator that they have favored in the past, some of these attacks are feeling just lacking any kind of teeth.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you on that. New Life seeming to be a bit lost even sometimes on the pushes, like especially after that in the last round, after they killed by the Vigil, that definitely kind of throttled a bit their attack, because Dokkaebi was pretty much clueless about where was the defense, where were the defenders coming from, and got pretty much very easily picked off by that by the Valkyrie played by Murray.
It's a really bit troubling, honestly, that New Life, despite bringing 2 very efficient roam clearing operators in the Dokkaebi and the Jackal, are still struggling to even find a couple of picks onto Nora-Rengo. And New Life are allowing Nora-Rengo's roamers to find 1, 2, even 3 kills before finally getting traded back. It's not boding well, and you can see Papilia, who's been playing so well so far, he's just going to keep peeking aggressively, and he's got Waka to help him. He's going to be using Waka as a mobile mirror just to peek through while staying almost completely protected. And if he does take some damage, well, he'll just heal himself up.
I'm very much curious about that push by Smileboy on Dokkaebi, because he swaps over from the Hibana onto the roam clearing Dokkaebi and pushing up from below. I do not think, if he would be playing very carefully and very stealthily, he could actually catch some of the defenders off guard.
That said, Waka surely is going to be checking his 6 on that clash, and wow, with barbed wire here as well, Nora-Rengo have prepared for this kind of push. Smileboy is going to have a hard time of making it work. There needs to be some more prongs to this attack.
Yeah, Murray now completely clueless about the positioning of his foe. He will be now taking the angle though, but right before there was just the right window for his push. He does go on the cameras. He does spot him. He will be getting that kill just at the worst timing for Smileboy, unfortunately, for a one-man advantage now for Nora-Rengo.
Amateur hour for the Dokkaebi, not taking out that camera that he had been sitting in front of for so long. What are these default cameras still allowed to deliver intel to Nora-Rengo? Papilia's just, all right, well, there's one walking up banana. I guess I'll just shoot him. I guess I'll just hold this angle. And well, what can what be do, honestly, at the moment? Not much that New Life can bring. Finally, Elkbis does find a kill rappelling on the windows, but with having almost had 2 minutes subside, this is way too late for the attackers to start finding picks.
And yeah, with only a minute left, New Life, I know we're close to the plant, and right now Walker playing very conveniently. Oh my lord, what a pick onto Wabi. What a play. 2v4, just like that. Nova managing to actually find a little bit of damage onto Rachel, and Walker picks up a kill onto Katsang. Now all up to him to try to clutch this up. He needs to get the 4K, but no. Mario with an ACOG MP5 will be settling the deal. 5-0. Yes, what is happening? We talked a fair few times about New Life. We did think that they would be able to show up on Bank. This is their favorite map. They managed to beat Mantis on this map in a very confident manner. This is not the New Life that we watched together. No,
we need something to bring some new life into their gameplay at the moment because they just don't have what it takes so far. This is looking to be exactly like the match that they lost, the map, I should say, that they lost. That was Coastline against Mantis in that seeding match, because in that game, Mantis were not playing any particular amazing strategy. They were just running around and shooting people. And yes, Nora-Rengo are showing us some nice strategies, but for the most part, it's just New Life's inability to find any kills and win any gunfights. Like, they're not taking the counter strats. They're not trying to devise ways to counter Nora-Rengo, but on the top of that, they're not even winning any gunfights. You need to do both of those things if you want to overcome an opponent. New Life here on Bank just not bringing us what we want to see.
Indeed, and it definitely feels that for this half, New Life would need to perform way better than their attack. And definitely there was a trend within just APAC in general that attack rounds for some of the teams were very, very much wonky. And the moment they moved on to defense, that's where they were unbeatable, and the swapped over to attack defenders weren't able to get anything.
At the most, for the most part, at the moment, most teams and most players, I think, do believe that the defensive side in the current meta is slightly more powerful than the attacking side. I've seen players such as Meepy from Team Secret suggest maybe we need to increase the round timer to give attackers more time, but honestly, it shouldn't be this one-sided regardless. Nora-Rengo, I would not be surprised if they close out their first attack round right here. You can see they're taking their time. Walker's doing some droning, and, well, Mario and Papilia starting to do this. Roam clear, New Life not playing a roam game. They're going to be relying on the denial of the diffuser plant. They have 1 C4, 3 smokes, and 2 Maestro Evil Eye cameras to do it.
Yeah, and with the Evil Eyes, if played very carefully, you could actually do a whole lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm mostly worried though because they used Echo to a very strong effect in their seeding match against Mantis, but that's been banned by Nora, so they're going to have to instead rely on the Maestro, which Nora has ways of dealing with. Those frag grenades from the Buck and, of course, the Ash charges can destroy those Maestro devices. That's one of the benefits of an Echo over a Maestro, is that Echo is hard to locate in the first place, whereas Maestro devices, you can see them, easy to find, hard to take down, but if you bring enough utility, they're no problem.
True that. Now, Mario actually playing very very slow with Walker as well, about to push up the service stairs. And New Life seeming to be just hunkering down. They need to play very safe. They don't want to go for the aggressive plays right now where they just 1 round away from losing their favorite map. And this could very much go very quickly. Mario already using his Ash charge to get rid of that shield that could have caused some problems for them.
Yeah, interesting shield placement. I guess it's to prevent the attackers from sprinting through and getting a safe place to plant, but interesting peeking angles as well.
Yeah, Nova is seemingly preparing for the plays on the garage, but it definitely seems like an all-out push towards the CCTV, and oh my, Walker might actually catch some rotations off guard very quickly. That is a nice angle as well.
Yeah, a lot of good angles you can gain from the hatches, and of course, with these smokes from Elkbis being baited out, Nora-Rengo are looking to be in a strong position to make this happen. JJ just waiting for the opportune moment. And of course, Smileboy is going to be one of the pillars of this plan denial. He's waiting to see JJ in the right position. He calls out that JJ pushes into the objective. He's going to call that he's probably jumped up on top of the desk. Mario finds one kill, but Elkbist denies the plant. Walker dropping into the site. Does get taken down. Papilia is in a desperate moment at the moment, trying to find frags, but Katsang is the one to find them. Mario finally finds himself a second one. Papilia missing his shots, but Elkbist going wild with the SMG-11. Nova picks up the last two, and there you have it. New Life have a round on the board.
Very well played and very conservative play, I'd say as well, because Nora being unable to read in onto the hold from the garage, that pretty much, I'd say, was the downfall of them, because that Maestro did cause a fair bit of damage, as well as the smoke bringing out that first initial frag, the slightly throttling the push. That's pretty much what sealed the deal, I'd say.
I mentioned earlier that Nora-Rengo brought a lot of utility to deal with, for example, the Maestro devices, but what they were really lacking there was smokes. Because the way that New Life essentially denied that push from Nora was they just peeked all those angles. They'd opened up a lot of walls. They had the Maestro, as you mentioned, and he just peeked and shot anyone who dropped the hatches. So if that was denied by some smokes, denying those lines of sight, I think Nora-Rengo would have been in a much stronger position to make that round happen.
I would have to agree with you on that. And maybe Nora are just scouting out on how will New Life attempt at their defense. Maybe they trying to get used to their approach. We never know, because right now for New Life, they need to get their confidence back. They need to get their playstyle back up. And this is their prime moment right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, last round, just talking about the smokes again, Nora-Rengo did bring a Jackal, so there's 2 smokes available, and they've done the same again. Perhaps it was just... Pardon?
It feels like not enough.
Maybe. I mean, Capitao is really in the meta at the moment, so perhaps Capitao would be more useful than, say, a Buck. But I don't know. Hard to call, really. Nora-Rengo perhaps just need to be using their utility more wisely.
What feels to me is that bring only a Hibana for the hard breach, and bring, instead of the Thermite, bring over a Capitao for those smokes, and as well as those asphyxiating bullets, because they could actually deny the entry as well very, very nicely.
Well, as for this round, Nora-Rengo bringing the same attacking lineup despite attacking a different bomb site. This time it's going to be Tellers and Archives. JJ on the Thermite, going to be assisting his teammates droning out the top floor. Of course, a lot of reinforcements being invested into this top floor. As we mentioned before, the vertical play is so very important, so just having some kind of presence up top could be very important for the defense.
Yeah, and we do see Papilia finally utilizing the Jackal Inox to be able to track the Valkyrie, and as well as that, well, oh my lord, Walker manages to pick up Katsang and managing to out him very, very quickly. That roam was not working out very well, and Castle paid with his head for it.
Yeah, good early pick for Nora-Rengo. A lot of intel and intel denial for New Life, which will make it harder for Nora to keep pushing. But of course, oh my god! Mario almost found that kill. Great use of his utility, opening up angles into the sites, and not the site, but in the top floor, just for this roam clear. Elkbist being a sneaky snake here. And he's just going to come back to side, I think. So looking good for New Life at the moment, despite losing the first player. They've denied a lot of time, and Nora-Rengo haven't found all that many picks just yet.
Yeah, and yeah, half a round being gone already, that is quite a substantial one. But Nora now have the control of the upstairs, which means that Walker could do some damage from above.
And that's exactly what he's going to be doing, peeking some of these holes that have been made. And of course, Walker, a very strong fragger, having played some more supportive roles as well, which is very admirable when you see a fragger also able to play supporting roles. Oh my god, 2 of them drop Nova. He sees them just dropping down prone.
It's raining, man.
It is raining. It's raining Nora-Rengo at the moment. Papilia is the first one to find a kill right here. JJ going to be opening up more holes into the bomb site as Walker finds one from above. Only 2 players left for New Life, 5 left for Nora-Rengo. Here we are, match point, looking to potentially close it out for the Japanese at the moment in this first map. New Life just aren't showing up, but Nova finds 1 kill onto the plant boy of JJ. 4 left for Nora-Rengo, and there's still so much time for them to play with. They just assess this right, but Mario peeks on in, he takes 1 down, but Nova, again, the only player to find kills, trades him back, but Papilia on the final kill. there you have it. Nora-Rengo take map number 1.
6-1 there for Nora-Rengo, and not a great start for New Life. We expected this to be a difficult matchup for them, but that was perhaps a little more difficult than anticipated.
This definitely looked like New Life did struggle with reading in on how Nora would play out, and it worked out very well. And Nora didn't even need to bring out that many strats. First several attack rounds for New Life, Nora was just toying with them.
We had a lot to talk about. Nora-Rengo, are they going to be as good as their former rosters? How are they going to show up? They've had some roster changes. Is Sengoku now the better Japanese team? But I think all my doubts have been quelled right here. Nora-Rengo looked to be a very strong team. You can't just blame New Life for that loss. Nora-Rengo played phenomenally.
Yeah, across the board, they looked really good. Papilia and Walker, sorry. Mario as well. There's just 3 players I noticed that stepped up individually, and we sort of talked about those individual players that could step up. They certainly have for Nora-Rengo.
Absolutely. I mean, those fraggers have been cornerstones of Nora-Rengo. They're the players that have given the team international recognition, despite them formerly being such a strategic team.
Yeah, so obviously things went a little bit wrong there for New Life. This was their map choice as well. You said if they were going to have a chance in this series, they had to pick this one up. So is it basically done now?
I'd say yes, because Coastline is definitely a much harder map for New Life, and they didn't perform very well before. But from what we saw as well, New Life did lose their first map against Mantis on the seeding match in nearly the same fashion, and I feel that maybe New Life could do a comeback, but it will be a much more difficult play out for them on Coastline, because before that they lost on their less preferable map, and then won on their more preferable. They were all warmed up already. They knew how the other team approached, but this time it's completely opposite.
Definitely a comfortable start for Nora-Rengo. Obviously, there was some questions, like you said, coming into this one, Dev, where we were wondering how this newer roster was going to go. Were they going to mesh together? Was that old form going to be there? And I think this has kind of answered things a little bit, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, we've seen players in the past who are very strong fraggers not really be able to do much more, but with Walker taking up some more supportive roles, and I mean, he was still fragging like crazy, playing Clash, playing Buck. They're still